Hi, I'm Gabriella. Join me as I explore amazing luxury lifestyle destinations and well-being trends in food, fitness, and beauty. In every episode, I'll take you on a healthy living journey that will refresh, rejuvenate, and re-energize all of your senses. We'll also meet great personalities, feature delightful events, and discover everything that will make you feel good about yourself. Welcome to The Good Life. I'm feeling good. This week, I'm taking you to a private island in the UAE, which promises to make all its guests absolutely happy, the Happiness Island. On Good Tips, we have Ezra Rothman, founder of Mom's Guide Abu Dhabi, to give us tips on traveling with kids. And later on, lunch is on the menu with a delectable seafood recipe. Traveling is second nature to people living in the UAE. Does traveling change when you have kids? Absolutely. I'm here with Ezra Rothman, who's going to talk to us more about this topic. Hi Ezra, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for hosting me today.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
So before we start talking about traveling with kids, I thought I could ask you more about your background because it's pretty interesting. You were born in Sudan, then you grew up in the States and in Saudi. How did you get to travel so much at such a young age?
Well, originally I'm from Sudan, but I'm a first generation Sudanese. So both my parents' parents are from different places. So they themselves are international. I have a background from Mauritania, Mali, Morocco, and Iraq.
Wow.
And then what happened was my father studied in the UK and just left Sudan. Since then, it was the early 1980s. They were giving scholarships to people in Africa back in the day. So he got his medical degree, and then he did his postdocs in the US in Johns Hopkins. So at that time, we met him from Sudan there as a 4-year-old. So I went to kindergarten there, and I grew up, until I was about 6 years old. Then he got a position in Saudi, and he became an expat in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. And we traveled a lot. One of my earliest memories when I was 2 was my mom waking me up in the middle of the night, and she brought to me 2 of my most favorite dolls. One of them I called Susu, and one of them I called the Sudanese. But she told me to pick one.
Okay.
And I remember I said I want both of them, and she said no, you have to pick one, and I had to pick one, and I picked the smaller one. And I remember I just didn't understand why I had to leave the other one. But it was one of my earliest memories, is that you can't have everything and you can't take everything with you when you're constantly, in journey, in
Amazing.
life.
The things you remember from your childhood,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think so at 2 years old.
That was one of my earliest memories. It's like, the doll, where is it?
The mystery till today.
Where did it go?
I'm sure that also influences your own parenting style, just remembering
Absolutely.
those things. And
Absolutely. Like, our parenting style is definitely influenced by trying our best to unplug the kids. I actually started a hashtag called Childhood Unplugged UAE to just document how much you can do with your kids without using technology. And it's definitely influenced by traveling a lot. So we started traveling a little bit, I would say, rougher. In the past couple of years. It was more fulfilling, because it's really like re-experiencing life through the lens of your children, and also realizing that they're resilient, and also at the end of the trip, it's just so fulfilling because you're like, I did it. And people said that you can't, I did it.
Especially with 3 kids,
Yeah.
right? And I totally agree. You travel differently, I think, when you have children, because you do see everything through their eyes, and you get really excited about little things that your kid gets excited about.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, oh, a butterfly, amazing.
I know, it's like, look at this tree, look at this mountain.
Yeah, exactly, that's so true.
It's so beautiful.
I think also it's important to get them used to it from an early age. I mean, sure, it's more comfortable for everyone to just lie by the pool all day, but you're
Right.
creating memories and joint experiences, which are really
Absolutely.
important for bonding as well.
Absolutely. And I think Sharif, he's now 10 months old. I think by now he's been on at least 11 flights.
Wow.
So it's breaking them early is very
That
important.
is amazing.
I think he was 8 weeks old. I took him to Sudan via Qatar. He went to London, and we went to Sri Lanka, Mumbai, India. So he's been traveling already to the point where planes don't faze him now. It's just kind of like, oh, it's that place with the muffled voice that comes from there, you know.
Second home.
Yeah, but I do think that if I waited, which, you know, some parents are like, wait until they're old enough to understand or old enough. If I waited, he would have had maybe a harder time. But we don't only do that with traveling. We do that with movies, with fine dining and stuff. I don't want them to be amazed at places that are part of our lifestyle.
Okay.
So we extend that philosophy into all other parts of our life, not only, you know, with traveling.
So Sharif is 10 months old, but you have 2 other kids as well, right?
Right. So I have 3 kids in 3 different developmental ages. Of course, Fatima is 8, into that tween age already. Wafa
Wow.
is 5.5, and Sharif is a baby. Just like starting all over again, you know, with him. So for a while, it was really nice having Fatima and Wafa do similar activities. Now it's not working anymore because Sharif is, you know, at
Yeah.
a very different stage than
How
the
is
girls.
it having a baby again? Does it feel like starting from scratch?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
So now with having a baby, we're limited definitely, you know, because he can't do the same activities that Fatima and Wafa can do.
Yeah, but at least you have more time with the baby. You can really enjoy that
Sure.
company as well. I
That's
guess.
true in a sense, you know. The only pro is that he's like an only child again, you know. So they're off to doing what they need to do, and then you get your own time, you know, with him. So that's a definite pro.
You founded the nonprofit organization Mom's Guide Abu Dhabi. Do you feel like your role as a mom influenced or inspired you to do that?
Absolutely. What's really interesting is that I accidentally founded this thing. The way how Mom's Guide came about is that we moved to UAE. I just quit a nonprofit job where I was doing mapping and researching and project management. And I arrived into the city and I wanted to know about everything in the city. So with Mom's Guide Abu Dhabi, I didn't really sit down and have this idea to start a company. I actually just arrived in UAE. I was an expat. I was new in the country. I just quit a job of working in a nonprofit organization, doing mapping and project management. And here I was, a new stay-at-home mom in a new city. And I wanted to build a community. And at that time, it was a gap in the market. And when I was looking for that type of community, I wasn't looking for actually finding moms and doing play dates. I was looking for a place where I could grow and not only survive, but thrive as a mom in this new city. So as I found new things and exciting things about the city, I started sharing them. And then I started this meetup page in April of 2012, about 4 months after I arrived here, and started meeting with some moms. But the content was different. It was like theme-based conversations, like,
Right.
you know, let's talk about schools in Abu Dhabi. Let's talk about, you know, different things like that.
You would discuss this beforehand, or
I would just tell them, let's meet for coffee and let's discuss X, Y, and Z.
Okay, sure.
So it started growing, and when it grew, it was not sustainable for it to be very informal. And the only way I knew how to do things was very nonprofit-like. So I applied what was familiar for me from the DC environment onto this nonprofit, onto this informal group, and it grew like a nonprofit because that's only what I was familiar with. But I wasn't thinking about starting a new business, changing career lines or anything. It just accidentally happened.
So your nonprofit grew from quite small organically.
Yeah, so it kind of grew little by little, and it has like a strong foundation. But it's definitely not a business that I sat and thought about. Like, it grew naturally, and it's dynamic, just like the Abu Dhabi market.
Finally, I'd like to know from you as a professional, because you're a mom traveling a lot with your 3 kids, what advice do you have, what tips do you have for traveling with kids?
Well, one of the first things is to really be flexible. I can't stress that more. I think parents who want to travel with their children, they think that the more that they prepare and the more that they plan, the better is the trip. My experience is that it's the exact opposite. When you have things planned by the hour and you have children and things happen, you're just ruining your day, and you're stressed because you have to be at the dock at 6:30 and something happens, or traffic, you know, you don't understand sometimes where you're going, like what's the traffic like, what's,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
infrastructure might not be as
it might
sophisticated.
rain, it might, your plans might get ruined. So the best thing is not to plan. But what we do usually is not 100% not plan. We plan the beginning of our trips, usually, and the end. The middle of our trip, we plan it as we're in the country based on how we feel and how we're doing. So there's lots of open-endedness in a lot of our trip. This year, for example, when we went to Sri Lanka, we had booked the first 2 nights and the last night. And as we did the whole beach thing for a couple of days, we were like, we want to see the middle of Sri Lanka. We actually don't want to be by the coast. So we were able to actually do some phone calls, get a van, rent a van, get a driver, and start going into the middle of the country. There were days that we were in the car for 7 hours, and we just kept going because we wanted to see the country. And it was like every single place we went to was even more beautiful than the other place, and we just kept going. But I think if we would have planned our trip, we wouldn't have seen as much of the country or interacted as much with the people, and we would have been highly stressed. I think with the kids it's inevitable. So that's one. The second thing is, there are things that you can do before preparing to travel in your lifestyle. For example, not having kids be such, like, eating very particular things. Like my kids, I try to make them eat what we're eating. I don't cook them separate food. So just from a very younger age, being flexible and trying new things and tasting new things makes it a little bit easier. So when Sharif was out there in Sri Lanka, he ate biryani, he ate chicken, he ate Sri Lankan breakfast, you know, whatever they had. And it wasn't like, oh, I need to do the cereal and all of that stuff.
Bring your little puree and steaming machine with you.
No, it was, you know, like he does that at home, and then, you know, like when we were traveling, I just got a masher and I just give him whatever we're eating. So that was also an advantage, because otherwise that's another stressor. Packing too much is another stressor. Like, for example, we were hopping on and off of trains, and even with a suitcase and a couple of backpacks, it was overpacking. So the next time we go on a trip like this, we're gonna just have backpacks. I think that we tend to overpack with children. So
that's true, because you're always thinking, in case this happens, I'll have this, and this, and you want all these different options.
And it just slows you down. It's more stuff to keep track of, more stuff to lose.
From what age onwards do you think kids can carry their own luggage or be responsible for their own?
I think at the age of 5. Wafa now is 5, and she had her own backpack. She did a couple of times ask us to carry it for her, but she's, you know, we're prepping her to carry her own stuff. You know?
It doesn't hurt to try, right?
No. So I carry it for me, and I'm like, great.
All right, amazing. So besides being a mom and co-founding Mom's Guide, you are also a researcher at the New York University.
Right, that's true.
How on earth do you do it all? And do you have any advice to moms out there that work full-time and maybe sometimes feel like they're just not giving enough to their kids or to their husband, to their friends? You know, they feel a bit hopeless sometimes?
If there is one advice I would like to give moms about balancing out their schedules is please Google the bullet journal.
Oh.
The bullet journal.
That's all that needs to be said about it.
It's definitely really amazing. I've been looking. It's a way of organizing your life for people who are extremely busy. It's really amazing.
All right.
So I really think that people should get on the hashtag bullet journal bandwagon.
Definitely. That'll be the first thing I do after we chat.
Awesome. I hope you will be a bullet journaler.
Yeah. And hashtag it too.
Yes.
Thanks so much for those tips.
You're welcome.
And finally, for being on the show. Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, because there's more goodness when we come back. Flying to a private island used to be reserved for celebrities and billionaires, but this type of holiday is actually now a lot more accessible. Besides the obvious luxuries, what are some of the other perks associated with private island resorts? I'm here with Hussein, General Manager of Happiness Island, to tell us more. Hi Hussein, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we're here in this beautiful resort. How did you think of this concept?
Basically, it's what we call an island, like private island. That's the concept is very easy. We are doing a luxury resort, targeting the leisure and the GCC residents to come and breathe out from a city or a crowded or noisy city like Abu Dhabi, to come and chill out, relax in an island with the beach, pool, and a lot of water activities.
Since when does Happiness Island exist?
We start end of May, and we are here improving slowly, but surely we will reach our goal.
I arrived here on a boat, which was pretty spectacular because I feel like before I even arrived in the resort, I was already getting into holiday mode. And also it was really nice to see the resort from the ocean. Is this boat available all day long?
Of course, there is a timing for the boat to bring you to the island every half an hour from the pickup points, that is Abu Dhabi. It takes you to come to the island about 5 to 7 minutes from the pickup point. So we are making it as an experience to see Abu Dhabi from the sea, which is a great experience for the guests.
And how many rooms do you have available here?
Basically, we have 36 rooms. 26 are villas, 2 bedroom, and we have 10 that is 1 bedroom chalets.
I've been to a private island resort before in the past, and what I really noticed was that it's just so much fun. It's like a playground for adults. You can do so many things like snorkeling, kite surfing, wakeboarding, anything you want, fishing, your own dinner. There's so many perks. What are some of the things you can offer here?
Here we are offering you, exactly like you said, we are offering you a private villa with your own 2-bedroom apartment, with a private beach in front, with the terrace. You can cook, you can do your barbecue, you can have a Korean service that we call, it's a butler service that is offering you all the kind of service that you would like to have, a room service 24 hours, which is kind of special in an island. Plus, we are offering a fishing trips, like a boat that can take you from the island to fish. We are doing snorkeling, as you said. We're doing motorized biking, motorized games like jet skis, wakeboarding. We're doing as well stand-in paddles, kayaking here, which is quite experience.
So for people who have never been to a private island resort, what are some of the things they have to be aware of though?
Basically, they have to be aware about the safety of standing on a boat, riding a boat from the pickup point to an island, also in the beach. So there is a lot of regulation that we place on, especially for the kids and the families that they're coming on special days to celebrate their birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. We are placing lifeguards 24 hours. We have a security around 24 hours to make sure that everything goes well while the guests are using our facilities.
You've mentioned some of the activities that you offer on this island just before, but you also have events here, for example, the Ladies' Day, right?
Exactly. A Ladies' Day, it's one day in a week, as I mentioned, on Saturday. So we make sure that ladies have a day to come and chill out privately, all together. We are inviting a DJ, a lady DJ, to make a music here. We're inviting also dancers, so to make an environment for ladies to chill out and express themselves alone, without the presence of gents or men. I think it's been a success so far.
That sounds like a really great way to spend the day, actually. What about guests who just want to come for a day? Is that a possibility?
Of course, it's possible. We do a day use from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock evening, so they can spend the whole day in the chalet, one of the chalet we have here, and also the villas side of the beach.
Amazing. So any plans for the future?
Yes, exactly. Our future plan, basically, it will be about, like, we are planning to make a wellness center here, as a yoga, a spa for guests to spend the day as well. We are planning to make a kids pool over the beach, which will be a unique experience for kids. We are planning as well to more extend our activities, especially the water activities and water sports. I believe that's about it for the moment.
Great. I'll be bringing my daughter here to the kids club then.
Please do.
Thanks, Hussein, for giving us an insight
Thank
into
you.
your resort.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined here today by Chef Ravi, who's going to show me how to prepare a Mexican hamur with avocado salsa. Hi, Chef. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very much looking forward to this healthy dish.
Okay,
So how do we get started?
we can start it with the salsa. So we have black olives, fresh coriander, fresh avocado. We have a tomato, cherry tomato, chili, fresh vegetables. We have a garnish some peppers, dill here,
Dill,
lemon butter
lemon butter,
and pepper
pepper,
and salt.
salt.
We have olive oil and we have lemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It all
Okay.
sounds really healthy. Where do you have the avocado from?
This avocado from Mexican.
Those are the
Mexican,
best?
yeah. So first I going to cut in the ingredients.
Yeah.
From the onion.
Yeah.
We have a little bit onion chop.
Why is it called a Mexican hamur recipe?
Because salsa coming from the Mexicana. It's little bit taste of chili
Yeah.
also. That's why I call Mexican salsa.
Yes,
So,
of
okay.
course.
So we have some cherry tomato.
So I love that you use different colored cherry tomatoes.
Yep.
It adds a nice color.
So nice color and it's tasteful also. Slightly I add little bit green chili.
Okay.
I'll put some red color of bell pepper.
Yeah.
This for the presenting for the
Okay.
plate. I'll put little bit lime. I'm going to chop coriander leaves finely. It's very healthy and it's good smell
I really
for
love
the
the
food.
smell.
Yes.
I find I could put coriander in any dish. It will just
Yeah, this
add
is-
a certain twist to it.
So you can mix slowly. So you can mix it. This olive oil. So I add some more lemon. Finally, we add the avocado. So it will be creamy taste.
Okay.
Then you can
Mix
mix
it.
up everything together.
So the salsa is ready.
Yeah.
Do we now proceed with the fish?
Yeah.
This has been marinated for
The
4 to 5
marinated.
hours. you
Yeah,
said.
for 4 to 5 hours. I already marinated with coriander, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper.
So this fish has been in the oven. We've grilled it for how many minutes?
Yeah, 7 to 8 minutes. It's 180 degrees, so it will be perfect.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
yeah.
Crispy even.
Yeah.
Next up, we're preparing the vegetables.
So we're going to
Thank you.
saute with the little bit olive oil.
Okay, so I put
Yep.
olive oil first.
Yes.
I think the pan's quite warm already. Basically, these have been already steamed.
Steamed.
We're just adding a bit of color.
Yes.
Okay, let's get
So-
started with plating.
Okay.
I'll let you do this.
Thank you very much.
We're almost done with plating.
Yes.
There are a few more details missing, right?
Yeah.
So the sauce.
I have some final touch only.
Yeah.
I have some lemon butter sauce.
Yeah. There it is.
Yes.
Mexicana
one?
jamor with avocado salsa.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to trying this now.
Yeah, of course. You have to try.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you very much.
Now let me try the jamor with the fresh avocado salsa. The jamor is perfectly marinated. I can taste the lemony zest, which is so delicious, and the creaminess of the avocado is just such a great combination. Gonna have to have another bite. Wow. And those chilies, it's only a little bit later on that you realize what a kick they give the dish. Really yum. Here at Happiness Island, they believe that happiness is a choice, and they choose to make their guests happy and feel welcome every single day. I hope I did the same for you. And remember, if you have any comments or suggestions, please connect with us on our social media pages. I'm Gabriella, and this is The Good Life.